Other comics and podcasters also coming to Rogan's defense. Whitney Cummings tweeting, "Comedians did not sign up to be your hero. Stay focused on the people we pay taxes to be moral leaders."
Even if everything he said was 100% right, you still shouldn't take medical advice from a comedian doing a podcast. You can't go, well, I used to host Fear Factor, and now he gives me my medical advice. That's not a thing.
The reason that I said that, and I hope that nobody would listen to that. I mean, they literally prefaced it on the news by saying, coming to the defense of Rogan. The reason that I said that is because I don't hold Joe Rogan accountable for people who decide that he is the person that they're going to get their medical advice from. I hold those people accountable for that. And that's not even to me what this is about. And it didn't become about that either. You know, I mean, when the Neil Young thing didn't work and Spotify was like, all right, Neil, if you want to go, and we'll keep Joe. That's when the racial material reared its ugly head. The racist material reared its ugly head. It was Joe Rogan repeatedly dropping N-bombs on that podcast of his. And boy, oh boy, put together in a montage, it looks horrible. It was all kinds of clips from Joe's podcast, and we can talk about them one by one. But I think that for me, Joe immediately comes out. Okay, so first, this montage video gets pushed forward. I think it's been around for a while. But this video, like, it reaches the forefront. It's the top of the trending topics. Everybody's talking about it. They're like, holy shit, this Joe Rogan is a monster. He's a racist monster. Joe admitted that it shouldn't have happened to begin with. He said it on his apology. It shouldn't have happened to begin with. And that he has felt that way before last weekend. Not only should he not have done it to begin with, but it wasn't just something he had realized now as the outrage culture had built. It was something that he had realized before now, which is why he had already made the decision to not participate in behavior like that anymore, because he didn't think it represented who he actually was. And I believe him when he says that, because I think, unless there's more clips, and there could be, I could be wrong, but he says he stopped. You look at some of the horrible clips that have come out from his show. Obviously, the Planet of the Apes joke is, it doesn't matter what year it was said in. It could have been said in 1968, and you would have been like, what the fuck? Like, but that clip, like, for me, Joe acknowledged, if you just play that clip out, and some people are actually using this to criticize Joe, which I don't understand, because if you play that clip out, Joe acknowledged at the time that he made the joke, like literally 15 seconds after, that was a racist thing to say and he shouldn't have said it. Like immediately he said it. And that to me goes, okay, this is not a racist guy who's looking to assert himself in a place of power. This is a comedian who was going for an offensive joke that was outrageous. It didn't land the way he wanted it to. And he realized that it didn't represent what he wanted. And he immediately put a spotlight on it and called it out and said, this is not what I should have been doing. He said it right there. There's another clip of this guy who's like on his show talking about like genetics. And I mean, it's a real white supremacy conversation. It's horrendous. It's horrible. Like this guy I don't know him. Strikes me as a horrible human being that shouldn't have been on Joe's podcast. But I look at that podcast, I'm like, what the fuck is Joe doing? And then you do any research into it, and you see that not this weekend, not when all the outrage is circulating, but when that podcast came out, Joe expressed regret for having that guy on his show. He immediately, when that podcast came out, he goes, look, I have controversial people on because I like hearing controversial people's opinions, but I did not realize that guy was doing that. I shouldn't have platformed him. That word, platformed. I shouldn't have platformed him, and it was the wrong thing to do. And he kind of did a mea culpa for that, again, as it happened. So the fact that, like, a lot of this material comes out now without the acknowledgement that, like, Joe has already said this was the wrong thing to do when he did it. And It was kind of like, I don't know how much more you can ask of a person. You know, we get so wrapped up in the identity politics and the picking sides and the, you know, my guy should win here, your guy needs to lose there. The humanity of everything gets lost across the board. The fact that Joe put out a video and said, this was wrong. You are right when you say it's wrong. I do not do this anymore. Not only will I not do this going forward, I've already made the decision a long time ago to not do this anymore. But you are right to say that this is wrong. And I apologize. On a human level, not in a, well, I am an anti-Rogan person and Joe is a human being with a family and a dog and a life. As a human being, he goes, no, I was wrong here, so I apologize. I don't know what else you could possibly want from him. Whoopi Goldberg, I felt the same way. Few days before Rogan, Whoopi comes on and she says some crazy shit on The View, saying that the Holocaust was not about race. Whoopi was off her rocker to say that. Totally wrong. And then she went on Colbert that night and she apologized, quote unquote, for it. But that was not an apology. That was not like, oh, yeah, you guys are right. I was wrong on that. That's my bad. It was, I think people misunderstood me. And it's like, no, lady, nobody misunderstood you. You were off your rocker. And she went on The View the next day. And she said, I was presented information that I did not have yesterday. I was wrong. You were right. I shouldn't have said that. It's wrong. The people criticizing it are right. I am sorry. Whether you, like, people go, wow, she didn't mean it. It wasn't sincere. It was a corporate apology. It was this. It was that. What else do you want? Whoopi Goldberg is a human being. What else do you want from Whoopi? The ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, goes, yeah, Whoopi was wrong. She apologized for it. What do you want? And they go, well, we're going to suspend her for 2 weeks. Why? Why? To teach her a lesson? We're adults. She's a human being. You're not going to. Her job is to talk live. It's not like she can go back and edit something and go like, that was stupid. I was on a roll and I said a dumb thing. I do this show live. I don't know why. It's so stupid. Because when you're doing live into a microphone, you just say crazy shit sometimes because your brain is just, you're working it out as you go. I can't imagine if somebody were to comb through everything I've ever done, how much terrible stuff there would be. Because I don't think I'm a terrible person. I don't think Joe Rogan's a terrible person. I don't think Whoopi Goldberg's a terrible person. I don't agree with any of the stuff that Joe was saying in his clips. I don't think Joe agrees with any of the stuff that Joe was saying in his clips. I don't agree with any of the stuff that Whoopi was saying on The View or Colbert. Whoopi says she doesn't agree with the stuff that Whoopi was saying on The View or Colbert. So at that point, it's like, okay, we saw it happen. We acknowledged it. We talked about it. We joked about it. We called people out about it, whatever. We decided to do a YouTube show talking about whether we agree or disagree. They apologized. It's over at that point. This, like, loss of humanity, because everything is just like content, right? Everything is just part of the dialogue and part of the content machine, and nothing is real. Nothing is real. It's just, well, if I go crazy on the internet about this thing, then my followers will be like, yeah, and they'll be on my side for it. So I'll be right here and I'll get the points for doing that. And none of it, like, you don't go like, if I met this person in real life, would I be able to just have a conversation with them? Especially if they just apologized. Have you never been in a fight with somebody that you were like, that was really fucked up what you did? And they're like, yeah, it was. Sorry about that. Oh, what else? I mean, what else do you want? Well, no, not only do I not want to talk to you again, I don't want you talking to anybody ever again because I'm still hurt by it. Come on. Rogan, I think, did the right thing by acknowledging it. And it felt like he was speaking from what he felt. But this idea that, like, you can't ever apologize is so crazy. I mean, I saw, there's one story about like, oh, this platform is offering Joe Rogan all this money to leave Spotify and come to this place where it's real free speech, man. And it's like, you are a carny. If you're out there going like, wow, Joe Rogan can come be on this platform, that's a carny move. You're trying to profit off the news story. Nobody said, because people are like, what about the Spotify deleted all those episodes? Joe might have wanted them deleted. We have no idea. Joe, not only has Joe not said anything negative about the way he's been treated by Spotify, but the CEO of Spotify came out and said, I'm not going to silence Joe Rogan. That's not what I'm going to do. And that's a difficult call with all this wildness going on. Most companies wouldn't do that. So the idea that, like, Joe Rogan is under attack from the company that he works for that's supporting him is, like, I don't know, like, sometimes I just feel like narratives are created. There's two things that we need to do. Two things that if we all do it, if we just collectively agree, not Sam Grim Reaper, Sammy Preach Muffins, feeling your vibe. Come on, man. Come on, man. If we all agree to this, we will be in such a better place. Number one, three things. Number one, we are human beings, even the ones that are on TV, even the ones on the radio, even me. Everyone's just human beings, whether they're on the internet or whatever. Everyone's just human beings. Number two, allow people to apologize. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you're a liar. It doesn't mean that, just allow people to apologize. Sometimes even the best of us can be wrong. We have to allow people to apologize. Apology shaming is maybe the dumbest tact that I've ever heard in my life. The idea that one person creates a set of ideals and has to stick to that for years, cannot evolve, cannot change their mind on anything, cannot do anything. I figure out exactly who I am and what I want to do and what I believe in. This is what I'm going to do. It's insane. We have to be allowed to apologize. And number three, accept apologies. Okay? I know that the smell of blood, it's like a shark in the water. I know how good it smells. I know you want more. But accept an apology. If somebody apologizes and they go, you're right, I'm wrong, and here's how I changed. Be done. Be an adult about it. Be over it. If it's a real apology, I mean, if it's so egregiously fake or not sincere or behaviors don't change, then whatever, of course. But be a person. Be a person. That's all. Can we all just be a person? Don't be a team member. Team members are so fucking lame. So fucking lame. Team members. Those are stupid people. Be a person. Come on, man.